There is a meeting happening in almost every organization I work with. Everyone is in the room, everyone contributes, everyone is heard, and 3 weeks later, nothing has moved. Hi, I'm Tami Imlay. I'm an executive leadership strategist and advisor, and this is a Leader's Purpose podcast. You're sitting in a seat where decisions you make are visible, impactful, and felt by everyone around you. You carry the weight of the organization, and most of what you've been handed about leadership isn't wrong, it's just backwards. It matters because I know that this is more than just a job to you. I've spent years studying what drives performance at the highest levels. And so every week, I bring you what I've learned, the patterns, the reframes, and the things that no one's saying out loud so you can stop managing your leadership and start trusting it. You already have what it takes, and this is where you get to remember that. So let's do this. Okay, you know me. You know I love a good series, and it's been a minute since we've done one. So we're going to do one now. For the next 6 weeks, I'm going after 6 things that I keep seeing, whether it's on LinkedIn and the leadership teams in the rooms that I work with, and these things need to go away. Not because the people saying them are wrong, but because at the level you're operating at, these beliefs are costing you more than you realize. I'm going to call it the Leadership Myth series. And so I'm going to warn you, at least one of these is going to make you think or rethink about a meeting that you just had last week. And I'm starting with today's. Today's might be one that makes people a little bit uncomfortable. So let me set the scene. The meeting was great. The collaboration was real. And somehow execution still stalled. Today, I want to talk about why that keeps happening and what it takes to fix it. So let's talk about this here. So the meetings that keep happening, these contribution, these consensus meetings where everyone contributes, everyone was heard, and everyone felt good about the conversation. And yet nothing moved. The team that keeps collaborating without committing. So you get input from everybody, but there's ownership from no one. And these decisions get made in the room and unmade in the hallway. People talk about them, they change. You start wondering if it's a communication problem or a performance issue, or maybe the team just isn't strong enough. But I'm going to tell you it's none of these. So here's what's actually happening. Collaboration improves ideas. Execution requires ownership. Those are not the same things. And hear me out because I'm not talking about you should never have collaboration sessions. You should never get consensus. But this is I want to talk about the root of the cause. Like what is going on in the room that makes it so you are not executing, your team is not achieving or executing at the level you know that they're capable of. So let's talk about this. Like what collaboration is actually for. Collaboration is meant to gather perspective, stress test an idea, making sure the right voices are in the room before a decision lands. I was reading a book by Phil Cook. I believe it's called Ideas on a Deadline. And he talks about how he doesn't even have collaborative meetings until everyone has 2 to 3 ideas they can work from. So it's not, they don't even have brainstorming meetings. It's you think about it and then you come with your 2 to 3 ideas. Because what collaboration cannot do, it can't create accountability. It can't hold a result and it can't move execution forward without a clear owner. And how many times have you been in a collaborative environment and thrown out some ideas and you'll have more than one person work on that idea? Or when you are working on that idea, or you think, oh, Susie, she was writing down, she was adding her input. She's got this. Even though it technically may fall under my job description, it seems like Susie has it under control. So I don't want to double the work or I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Have you had that happen? Because execution, again, it can't move forward without a clear owner. So where the collide happens is when leadership culture started treating collaboration as the goal. Everyone's in the room. Great. We are including everyone. Everyone's giving their ideas. Great. Everyone is heard. But the problem is instead of it becoming a tool, the collaboration tool, it then becomes a hindrance. Somewhere along the way, we decided that if everyone was heard, the work would get done. If everyone was heard, the work would get done. And spoiler, it doesn't work that way. It's great for feeling a part of something and terrible for accomplishing goals. There's a difference between inviting input and diffusing accountability. And senior leaders who mix up these two end up in rooms full of opinions and no one holding the results. And I've been in a few of these rooms. I've been part of it and I've watched some of them unfold, and they're both really frustrating. So what does diffused accountability look like in practice? The decision that belongs to everyone belongs to no one. The team waits for someone else to own it. And let me just give you a little secret. That someone is always you as the leader. It always defaults back to you. So what does it look like when you own this distinction? When you own this distinction, you're the leader who knows when to collaborate and when to decide. When the moment is, okay, we got our ideas, and then it's like invites input with a clear close date. You can make the call without waiting for consensus. You understand you have enough data, and then you can say, okay, Susie, I'm going to give this to Bob because it's under Bob's job description. If you have ideas, talk to him about it, but he's the owner. When you start to decide more, even in these collaborative meetings, and have that final say, it lets the team know that the decision is made and what is happening next. So what your team looks like when this shifts is everything stops routing back to you or through you. Your team is going to execute because the direction is clear and it's held. And even more collaboration happens because, again, it may be Bob's task. He may own the project, but because Susie now knows, like, okay, well, I can help you with this and this, but the ultimate decision, it goes through Bob to you, not through you or, well, to everybody. And so the meeting ends also when you shift and you start making those hard decisions, you start deciding in the moment, the meeting ends and the work can start. And let me tell you what your calendar looks like. When you make those decisions in those meetings, instead of having the hallway conversations, instead of having someone pop in and say, "Hey, I've got a great idea," or "Have you thought of this?" You're going to have room on your calendar for what you can only do. So that vision work, that the coming up with new initiatives, reflection, looking at the data and deciding what the next steps are. There's going to be fewer decision loops for you. So you're going to have more energy and more mental space to make the decisions that you need to make. And less of your energy is spent re-explaining what was already decided. That is not a harder style of leadership. It's a cleaner one, and it's available to you right now. So this is myth number 1. We got 6 weeks, so 5 more weeks of this. But these are 6 things that are worth questioning. Asking yourself if you're using these concepts and ideas, and how are you using them? Are you getting the results that you want? And if not, the answer may lie. They may lie in one of these 6 myths that we really need to bring to light and we need to remove. And so next week, I'm going to go after something even more ingrained. And honestly, I'm thinking it's something that's costing senior leaders even more than anything else right now. So subscribe so you don't miss it. And if today landed, I have a couple of things available to you. First and most direct, let's get on a call, TamiMarieCoaching.com/call, and let's chat. This is just you and I having a conversation about what's going on, what are you seeing in your leadership? And let's find that blind spot. Let's find those patterns and figure out how to remove them quickly. And then I also have a few seats left for my live workshop that's this Wednesday. It's more of a working lunch. It's not just me teaching. It's going to be, I have an hour scheduled, but it's only going to be about 15 minutes of me teaching. And then let's workshop the things that's going on in the room. That's one of the reasons why I'm having a very small room. No more than 11 people will be in the room. So we can ask questions, so we can diagnose some of these myths that are happening, some of these patterns, and figure out how to get the team to respond to you the way you want to be responded to. Also, to be able to your team to take ownership so you don't have to be part of every decision. And so that's also TamiMarieCoaching.com/call. DM me on LinkedIn or send me an email. So if you want a seat at this workshop, completely free. Again, you don't have to stay the whole time. I would encourage it, but definitely bring your question. I have a few people already, and I've already gotten a couple questions that are really good. But Tammy at TammyMarieCoaching.com or DM me on LinkedIn. All right. Well, I hope to see you in the room on Wednesday. If not, I will be doing these workshops again, so stay tuned. But, well, if not, then send me an email or get on a call and let's chat. Well, the links are in the show notes. And I had something else that I was going to say, and it completely blanked. So, well, I'm going to end there. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for spending your Monday, if you're listening to this when it drops, or but whatever day you're listening. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I can't wait to get to know you more. All right, friend, choose joy until joy chooses you, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.